You had talked about earlier some of the challenges you have as opposed to other schools. You don't have a middle school.
Right.
So if you will talk about what challenges that presents to you.
Well, you kind of get different. You have great dads that want to get out there and help and coach, and when their kid leaves, you got another coach. So you never have a continuity of a coach and a system. So our system's usually not put into place. Now I've got a group that works real hard to try to do that, but until you get a middle school team and you got coaches in there that have been in there year in year out, it's hard to establish a feeder program to your school. So we're getting them in at a low IQ, knowing our system. So we have to work real hard to get them up to par, and it usually takes a few years to get them there.
Well, you did a great job there. You talked about this year you haven't named a starter yet at quarterback, but you have 3 kids that you're looking at. And you mentioned at one point all 3 may be on the field at the same time. Has anybody really distanced themselves yet in that quarterback battle?
Well, I think probably who's doing their best right now is our little sophomore. And, we got sophomore, junior, and senior all competing. So we got 3 levels there. He's probably made the most strides, but he had the most strides to make. He was at a lower level to start with than the other 2. And he's probably closed the gap, I would say, and shown us some consistency. Where the other ones probably have been flashier. We see great things. Bradley has probably been more consistent than the other 2. So, if the other 2 get more consistent at what they're doing, they're probably a little bit better because they're a little bit more experienced. But right now, we got to have consistency so we know what we're getting. So he's closed the gap. We're still going to compete and see where we're at in a couple weeks. But all 3 of them, they're still working hard. And like you mentioned right there, they could all 3 be out there at the same time at any time.
Everybody I talk to always says they know when they play McMinn County. They don't like going up to Athens because it's a physical game. They know what your ball club brings. You pride yourself on that physicality and making sure the other team knows that they've played you guys.
Well, we'll be honest about this. It's a physical game, and there's rules and regulations now that try to take some of that out, which I'm all for. We don't want injuries, but we want to be hard knocked. Get up there and play physical until the whistle blows. Get body on bodies, tackle well, do things like that. Make sure we're there the whole time. I tell our kids a lot of times fatigue will make cowards out of all of us. We try to be in great shape, and fourth quarter's when we win. And if we're close in the fourth quarter, I feel good about it. So that's where we're going to be because we're going to be physical. We're going to be there, and it doesn't matter if you get knocked down in 3 quarters. The fourth quarter is when you're going to start knocking the other guy down, and that's what we're trying to get to.
Well, Coach, thank you very much. You always do a great job up there, and your philosophy is a great one. You spoke about you want the kids to leave the program better at the end of the year, not so much wins and losses.
Right.
So you really do a great job, so thank you.
I appreciate that.